let's kind of get here, and this video is a little while coming. It was a few weeks ago that I had an issue involving my new snake, which I named him, but I can't pronounce his name yet. So I wanted to tell you about that because there was several people in a couple of different communities that voted and thought that I should get rid of him. It was not his fault in any way, shape, or form. These kinds of snakes, which this is a western hognose, are the hardest to get bit by, and I managed to do it. They will, and you know, I can try to get him upset and see if I can get him to bluff strike, but he is really like calmed down right now, so I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get him to do it. He's really getting used to me being around, so he doesn't get as hissy or strikey as he used to. But when they, what a bluff strike is when they strike at you, but they keep their mouth closed, so you don't actually get bit. They're just trying to make you stop bothering them. Another thing that they do is they musk, which he did to me when I first got him. And then another thing that they do is they play dead. So, which means that they turn over and they try to make sure that you know that they're dead. But obviously he's getting more comfortable with me. And yes, the colors that you see on him are accurate. He does appear to be green. You know, this was one of the reasons why I fell in love with him, was because he's my favorite color. So, I mean, I could get one of the cats over here and get him to strike, or bluff strike, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So his tail being curled, that's like, he's a little upset, but he's not even close to upset. So, how did I get bit by a snake that hardly ever bites anyone, and would rather play dead than actually bite anyone? The way that happened is that I was feeding him in his tank, and because I didn't have the clip or the tweezer things to hold the pinky mouse that I feed him, which I do want to make sure that you guys know that I buy them from a provider that humanely euthanizes them and then freezes them. And then what we do is we thaw them out, warm them up, and feed them to the snake. So they are humanely euthanized. It's just basically unprepared cat food. Cat food goes through processing. Oh, we have an intruder, and we don't want a snake to get hurt. Alright, so anyway, no, Prince. Alright, so no. Thank you. Okay. I can't have him near the snake. I can't take the chance. He is small. I mean, he is not even, like, just barely as wide as my forefinger. So, and you see how he liked to hide right there, so. And he's keeping an eye on the cat right now. So, on Prince. So, what happened was I was feeding him, and the first one went just fine. I was holding it with my fingertips at the very end of it, and the first mouse got eaten just fine. But the second mouse, he grabbed at it, and I dropped it. Which I should have pulled my hand out of the situation at that point, but I didn't. I actually put my hand in further to grab the dropped mouse, and he struck where the mouse had been a moment before, which was my hand. So I will insert pictures at the end of this. I took one graphic one. I took one of him biting me. I took one after I got him dislodged, which is the graphic one, which I won't show. And then I have one of what my hand looked like afterwards. Now, there is levels of response that you can have to a snake bite from a hognose snake. One is that you don't really have any response at all, you pass off, you're fine. You know, you just have a couple of tiny scratches, they stop bleeding quickly, everything goes away. They're not venomous. What you have a reaction to is their saliva. So he got a good bite on me, and he was attached for probably a minute. I took, you know, after he attached, I had to take a picture, and then I had to go put him underwater to get him to let go. So got him to let go, and then I stopped the bleeding. I warmed up the mouse, rewarmed the mouse for him, and refed it to him with my hand again. I was not afraid of him. But I had a slight reaction to it, and I'll tell you what the worst is after this. But the reaction that I had is probably the most likely of reaction if anyone ever got bit by one of these, and that is that it started itching incredibly, like the itch was so bad. I mean, it started off slow, and then it got really bad, and I thought, I gotta put some ice on this, try to get it to not itch so much. But it itched so bad, I felt like I wanted to scratch my skin off. And I wasn't sure what to do. I ended up calling the doctor and say, can you stop the itch? But then I remembered while I was on hold for the doctor's office that I had some anti-itch cream that I just slathered on every area of my hand that itched. And that helped a lot. After slathering the ointment on, I cooled my hand off with the fan and with the ice still. That probably went on for a few hours there. My hand swelled up from the third knuckle, second knuckle from the right, because he bit me right there, like on that knuckle right there. I can't hold the phone and show you at the same time, but you can kind of sort of see an indentation where he bit me still, but that'll go away. So from about the second knuckle down, all the way down to my, the base of my thumb. My thumb wasn't really affected, but the hand part was swollen and a little bit red, and a couple more times throughout the night I put some more ointment on it, and it was uncomfortable enough to keep me awake all night. And then in the morning, when I looked at it again, my hand had swollen up from the knuckles all the way back to the wrist, which you'll see in the picture. So it lasted a few days. The itching went away. I had to put a little more itch cream on through the next 24 hours, but then the itch went away enough so that it didn't bother me anymore. And it was just a struggle to, close my hand because it was so swollen. So I had to, I had to just make sure that I wasn't overextending my hand. because it would hurt if I did just a little, not bad. And you know, after a few days, it was completely gone. I mean, there was definitely no residual bleeding after the first cleanup of blood. That closed up, and then just the swelling. So this little guy has some curiosity. So the worst that you can get is that you can be severely allergic to the saliva of this type of snake, like you would be to peanuts. And then you would have to go to the emergency room and get a shot. He's getting really wiggly here. He does not see the cat anymore as a threat. Oh my gosh, I love him though. He's not going to get that much bigger than this. He's already a year old. But anyway, so yeah, that's the most, that's the worst that you can get. Obviously now I know that if I ever was stupid enough to get bit by him again, that, I would not have to worry about being, you know, having to go to the hospital or anything like that. Unless he bit me in somewhere more sensitive, like, you know, the head or neck area where I couldn't control the itching. But that wouldn't happen. I really, you know, we've really gotten to know each other pretty well. He's got a feeding bin now where I actually take him out of his tank and put him in the feeding bin, and if I drop the mouse, he grabs it there. So he's anchoring himself to my hand. So, you know, he's, you know, I've been working to kind of, you know, like, get to where he's more comfortable with me, where he doesn't do any kind of hissing or flattening out of his face or bluff striking, and we've almost gotten there. I mean, he is really not reacting much at all. When I pet his head, he's starting to get used to it. So he's special to me. I've always been fascinated by snakes, and I picked one that wasn't going to get very big, because my cats mean everything to me too, and I didn't want to get something that was going to be too big for me to be able to take care of. So I did my research, and I think these guys were just super cute, and the guy is producing more different shades of green, and I'm like, dude, you're going to make me want to buy more from you. But the seller has been communicative with me, and has been able to help me through with a couple of questions. He recently did a shed for me that was an absolutely perfect shed, which means that, you know, it all came off in one piece, which means that there's no issues with his hydration, or his heat, so he's being taken care of in a very good way. Now, the only thing that I need to add for him is enrichment in his tank, which means like maybe a log, a couple of branches, maybe some fake plants, stuff like that, so that he has something to do instead of sleep all day, and, you know, get to know me more. So I just wanted to put that out there in case anyone else had any questions, because sometimes they aren't always fully answered. When I went looking for answers, I couldn't find any. So, you know, I want this also to be out there, not just for my friends to understand that I'm okay with having him and how much I like him. And Prince is really pushing it here. Back up, baby. Back up. Come on. Back up, big boy. So, give me a second. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And, you know, if you do come across this video at any point in time and you've been bitten and you have any questions about, you know, like the after effects or how it goes, you can definitely, leave a comment down below, and we can definitely talk about it. So, just wanted you guys to get to know this little guy a little bit. I cannot pronounce his name. It's Nehebkau or something like that. He's named after an Egyptian snake god. So, and you get to see his tongue flicks too. That's really something that's special for a lot of people. Who have snakes. And I know I say a lot, and I apologize for that. I'm not sure why that happens. Prince, you cannot. Okay, I do have to end this video before Prince gets too curious, and I will see you guys in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hey, it's Kylie Cat here, and my little snake buddy gave me a beautiful, perfect shed, and he is less crabby today than he has been, so I think that's awesome. I'm going to feed him, and I think he understands that because he's been in this position before, but I just thought I'd, go ahead and take video of it.